Here we are, the legal stuff. Now, a lease option contract, although it might seem complicated, is in fact a very simple document in legal terms. It's just a formalised contract or agreement between you, the purchaser, and the other party, the owner. However, the devil, as they say, is in the detail, and there are potential pitfalls if you try to write a contract yourself or download one from the internet and try to adapt it to your own requirements. You must use a properly written contract. You will eventually pay the price if you don't. Also, be aware too that not all solicitors, even conveyancing solicitors, know their way around a lease option contract. You should make sure that the solicitor you choose has experience of drawing up such documents. The contract is usually in three parts. There's a lease option itself, a management contract, and a power of attorney contract. Now, the lease option contract is the main document whereby the owner agrees to lease the property to you for a stated period of time, known as the option period, with you having the option, but not the obligation, to buy the property at any time during the option period for a price agreed at the time of making the contract. That is known as the purchase price. The contract also states the address and title number of the property and the names and addresses of the owner and purchaser, the start and finish dates of the contract, the option price, that's the amount you paid for the option, and the purchase price. There are places for all interested parties to sign and for their witnesses to sign also. Now, in law, and if no other arrangement had been made, all the rental income would belong to the owner of the property. We therefore have what we call a management agreement in place that makes you, the purchaser, the manager for the owner. And your fee is a difference between the mortgage amount that you must pay and the outgoings and the rental income, the gross profit. It also lists the obligations upon both the owner and the purchaser regarding insurance, maintenance, that sort of thing. It too has space for all the required signatures. Now, your option period could be for as long as 20 years, and people can drift apart and lose contact in that time. Also, it's not unknown that as the end of the option period approaches, some owners have been very difficult to find. In such a case, it will be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to exercise your option and purchase a property. That would be a bit of a pain if there's a potentially big profit there. So the final part of the contract then is a power of attorney, whereby the owner gives you the enduring but limited power of attorney to sign the sale papers on their behalf. It also allows you to pay the purchase price to yourself, although of course it should be kept in a separate account for the owner. The power of attorney allows you to speak with the mortgage company and any other interested party. What it doesn't do is allow you to access the owner's bank account or other access their personal, private or business life. Remember that the contract is not valid unless money has changed hands, and £1 is a minimum legal amount. Make sure you have a receipt and keep hold of it. Again, there are spaces for the required signatures. Now, assuming the lease option contracts are foolproof, and mine are, the only possible reason the owners could contest the contract is on the grounds of unreasonableness. And I cover that by offering them a percentage of the uplifting value, or by their asserting that they did not understand the contract and they didn't know what they were signing. Now, whilst I always recommend that the owners take legal advice, some don't. They're happy to read the contract through and just sign it. I therefore have them sign a disclaimer, and that disclaimer states that A, I have recommended very highly that they seek legal advice. B, if they choose not to seek legal advice, they cannot hold me or any assignees responsible for any loss as a result. C, they are not taking any drugs, whether prescribed or not, that may impair their judgment. D, I have not offered or given any financial advice, and E, they have not been coerced or pressured into signing the contract. And that covers pretty well any reason the owners could possibly use to contest the contract. It also covers me if the FCA, that's the Financial Conduct Authority, in their wisdom might at any point look through my business dealings to see if I've ever given financial advice such as would require a licence issued by the FCA. You can't be too careful. Always better to look ahead and anticipate potential problems rather than have them sneak up on you whilst you're unprepared. Okay, in the next module I'm going to explain to you all about sandwich options.